You ever feel like you're just drowning in project data, but you can't find a single useful thing in it? Well, today we're going to fix that. We're going to see how to turn all that chaos into a clear, actionable control room with this really powerful tool called Atlassian Analytics. So let's dive in and see how we build this thing, starting with a problem I think we all know a little too well.
Does this sound familiar? You know work is happening, but you can't quite put your finger on where the real bottlenecks are. You've got this gut feeling that some teams are totally stuck while others are just crushing it, but you can't prove it with actual data. It feels like you're flying blind, right?
And that's the heart of the problem for so many of us. I mean, your data is all over the place. It's in Jira software, Jira Service Management, Confluence. It's all there. But trying to get one single clear picture to make a smart decision, it feels almost impossible. You end up just wrestling with spreadsheets instead of actually leading your projects.
But what if you could pull all of those scattered data streams into one central hub? You know, a place where everything finally comes together. That's exactly where we're going. Let's talk about building your very own Atlassian control room. And this is the tool that makes it happen. The best way to think about Atlassian Analytics is as the command center for your entire Atlassian universe. It pulls everything together and turns it into dashboards you can actually use to make real decisions. It's finally here to answer those critical questions you have every single day.
Okay, a quick but really important point before we go any further. Atlassian Analytics is an amazing feature, but right now, it's only available for cloud enterprise plans. So if you're an enterprise user, this is something you can start using today. For everyone else, it's something to definitely keep on your radar.
So what's the magic trick happening behind the scenes? Well, it's the Atlassian Data Lake. Now, don't let the name scare you. All it really means is that Atlassian has built one central, clean, and organized place for all your cloud data to live. And that makes analyzing it super fast, because you're not dealing with messy data. It's already prepped for you.
Okay, so we've got the tool and we've got the organized data, but how do you actually get from all that raw information to a useful dashboard that tells a story? Let's walk through the steps. The whole process breaks down into a few pretty clear stages. You start by connecting your data sources. Honestly, the easiest way to get going is just start with the pre-built templates for a quick win. From there, you can start digging in and drilling down to spot those important trends. If you've got really specific questions, you can query the data using a visual tool or, if you're a pro, by writing SQL directly. And the last steps are all about communication, picking the right chart to visualize what you found, and then sharing those insights to get your team moving. Now, the data that's already in Jira and Confluence is a fantastic start. But the real power, the real magic, comes when you start pulling in specialized data from marketplace apps. This is how you really supercharge your analytics and get those super specific insights about your team's workflow. And yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you actually get those crucial metrics, like detailed time and status reports from your favorite apps and into that main control room? Let's walk through a real practical example using the Time in Status app.
It's actually way simpler than you might think. We'll call this the recipe. Step 1, you build and save a report, a preset, in the Time and Status app. Step 2, you use its data feed feature to pipe that report's data straight into a Google Sheet. And step 3, you just connect that Google Sheet as a new data source in Atlassian Analytics. That's it. You've just built a live data pipeline from a specialized app right into your main dashboard.
And this is where it all comes together. When you combine these reports, you unlock some seriously powerful insights. So look at this first one. You combine a time and status report with a status count report. Suddenly, you don't just know how long issues are stuck, you know how many are stuck. Or check out the next one. Layer in the status entrance date, and you can pinpoint the exact day a bottleneck started. And finally, split that data by assignee, and now you can see which team members might be getting overloaded before it becomes a huge problem.
All right, theory is great, but let's talk about the real world. Let's get into some hard-won advice, straight from the trenches. These tips are going to help you avoid some of the common headaches and hopefully get this right the first time.
Let's be real for a second. No tool is perfect. On the plus side, you get that cross-product reporting right out of the box, and you can even connect to outside data sources like Snowflake or BigQuery. The Visual SQL editor, that's a huge win for making data accessible to more people. But on the downside, it is enterprise only. The data isn't truly real-time because there are sync delays, and it's a little limited on built-in logic for things like company holidays.
Listen, if you remember only one technical tip from this whole thing, please make it this one. Data hygiene is everything. In your source sheet, your dates must be formatted as actual dates, not just as text that happens to look like a date. Trust me, this one detail will save you hours of pure frustration.
And here are a few more rapid-fire learn-the-hard-way lessons. 1. After you've connected your source sheets, don't rename the columns. 2. Make sure your time zones are aligned across all your tools to avoid those off-by-one-day headaches. 3. Always include the issue key in your reports. It makes joining data together seamless. And my personal favorite, when your numbers look wrong, check your filters first. It's almost always a filter.
So what's the big takeaway here? Think of Atlassian Analytics as your shared pane of glass, that single source of truth for the big picture across your whole organization. Then, you pull in that specialized data from marketplace apps to add the rich, actionable context your team needs to make smarter decisions every single day.
And that brings us to the end. You now have a blueprint for turning that data chaos into real clarity. So I'll just leave you with this one thought to get you started. You have the data. What is the single most important question that you and your team need to answer first?